Welcome to your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference. We explore topics, local festivals, arts and entertainment, and local news. For this program and much more, visit us online at yourlocalstream.com. That's yourlocalstream.com.
The president of the Master Gardeners, and we're very lucky to have Ron here with us because he's like the master of the Master Gardeners. But just to give you a little thing, to be a Master Gardener, you don't have to know a lot and be like Ron. You can be like me. I am always learning, and I'm constantly learning, and our classes start in the fall, and we go Tuesday and Thursday, and it is a phenomenal class because we have extension agents from all over the county, all over Georgia, everywhere, to come in and teach us. So we'll go to the composting lab at UGA. We'll go up to Blairsville and go to the mountain extension office there and talk to them. It is a phenomenal program. So if you're interested in being a Master Gardener, sign up, and don't be, so many people have said, well, I don't know anything. I don't either. That's why I'm here. I'm learning. So if you just want to learn and have fun, we're a good group, and we do a lot of fun things. So Neil, I'm going to turn it over to Ron, and he's going to teach us how to do the Crepe Myrtle.
Yeah. Hey, Euleen.
First thing, I'm Ron Plaster, by the way. There's different ways of maintaining your crepe myrtles. I don't believe in crepe myrtle, which is where they cut them off. They're all, that's just not a natural tree. If you want them low like that, you should buy the bush version, which doesn't get tall, and just keep it trimmed. Now what we have here are ones that are growing tall, as you can see. An objective is to try to keep 3 to 5 trunks, 5 at the very most, 3 is preferred. That gives you a better looking tree, if you will. Then if you have 1 and it gets big, that's good. But 3 is a good target. If you look at the ones over there, they've never been touched. They're sort of messy. They got 15 or 20 trunks on some of them, I think. So what we're trying to do, and you can see the ones back there, we're keeping back also. But these, we're trying to keep 3 trunks on them. Inside this brick wall is flower beds. And we don't want them covering up and destroying the flower beds, keeping all the sun away. So we will cut some of the branches that are starting to hang over too much into the flower bed. We'll cut those off. You might not do that normally. I have a bunch that hang over my driveway, and if I don't cut those off, it's terrible. The other thing that will happen when they're hanging over your flower bed or over your driveway, white flies really enjoy crepe myrtles. And the white flies drop their honeydew. And if it's over your driveway, it's on top of your car. And then the honeydew gets a fungus on it that turns black, and you can't hardly get that off your car and off your driveway. So you got to make a decision at that point. Do you want to get rid of the white flies, or do you want to protect the honeybees that may come to your crepe myrtles? And if you want to get rid of the white flies, which I do along my driveway, I put a systemic insect killer. You pour it in the ground once a year around the trunk of the tree, and that kills the white flies off. And other things that would be getting on the tree. And I went from a black driveway and a black-white car, a white car with a black roof, to not having any by just using that systemic insect killer. And
What was it
Mix it up
called?
in a bucket of water and pour it in the ground around the trunk of the tree.
What's it called?
You'll ask me later. I have a jar of it sitting up here. The Bear is the name brand of the major one. It's in a blue container, and it costs twice as much as the generic version. So what I'll show you up here is the generic version. It's, I think, about $18 or $20 a gallon, and you mix like 1 ounce to a gallon of water, so it goes a long ways. I think on the can we have up here, this will be the 3rd year we apply it to these trees.
And you say you spray it around the ground?
You just pour it on the ground.
Okay.
That's why I got a bucket. Next thing is having the right tools. Pair of hand clippers. Small pair will work for most things. I've got a bigger pair which costs more money. And then for these trees you got to have a pole trimmer. The next thing you need to do, and this is available, I got this at Home Depot here in town. It's to sharpen the blade. You should start with a nice sharp blade. And where you see the clippers displayed, you'll see these, and most people have no idea what it is, but it's a little diamond tip file for sharpening the edges of them. I've sharpened all of these. They may not be the sharpest in the world, but they've been sharpened.
Can you show us how you sharpen them? I saw you just going back and forth.
Yeah, there's a slant on the blade, and I think the rule is 23.5 degrees. Well, I have no idea what that is. So I follow the slant that is on the blade, and when the blade's nice and shiny with no nicks, I'm done. And then I try to clean this off in here, and that makes it a whole lot easier to clip them off. After you use them for a season, they're going to be so dull you can't handle it. And then the next thing, either a bottle of alcohol, or I like to buy the alcohol swabs at the drugstore. This bottle's probably 4 years old, so they last a while. But you want to clean all your tools. If you have a disease in one place in your yard, or your neighbor borrowed them and they have a disease, and you don't clean them with alcohol, you're going to bring the disease into yours. And there are some diseases that will affect crepe myrtles. Roses are really bad if you're trimming roses, because black spot, you'll carry it from plant to plant to plant. And again, I've cleaned all of these. My last tool is a little battery-powered saber saw, and you can buy blades that are called pruning blades. And boy, they cut the branches off quick for you. That's like $100 investment. You can buy a $10 saw that'll do the same thing with enough of your labor.
What about a chainsaw?
It'll work. I don't like using it. You know, if you got really big branches or you want to cut these down to the ground, yeah, chainsaw would be good. But chainsaw's heavy and it cuts very wide cut, whereas that's a very narrow cut. So I'm not making nearly the mess. Now what we want to do, these trees have been pruned each year for the last however many. We're cleaning them up. We're getting rid of what we can see as dead or broken branches, or branches that just shouldn't be where they're at. And it's your view of them as to whether the branch should be there or not. You know, you make the decision. One we want to start on is this first one here. One gentleman, and I don't know your name, I'm sorry. He's already taken care of this one for us. One of the things we want to try to avoid is crisscrossing branches where they rub one another. They'll rub the bark off, and then that makes them more prone to getting diseases and insect damage. So if we see crossing branches, we want to cut one or the other of them out. But what I'm looking for are volunteers that'll do the work. And what I want to do on this tree, you can see we have these little things growing down here. Well, we don't want that. We don't want these. We don't want those. And we want to cut them off. And you want to cut them right next to the knuckle. That's where the tree's true bark comes out, and then the branch starts. You want to cut it right at that knuckle, and by doing so it heals over very quickly and you don't damage the tree. Have I got any volunteers that want to work on this one? Pick your tool. Yeah, that'll probably work.
Yeah, I never know. Just start this way.
I usually put that on the bottom. Cut it right at the knuckle. Yeah, that's it.
Yay!
That's the sharp of it. And then there's 3 more on that next one. I'm going to cut this little one off down here. Just because I don't want it down there. Yeah. Something to kind of figure out when we want to do it. Does anybody see anything else in that one that we need to whack out?
Is that one see that one that's kind of like middle of the tree that's kind of going across? Should we get rid of that one?
I think it would be a good idea, yeah.
Okay.
That was too high.
What if I don't want the tree down? So the key is when you put a crepe myrtle in a place to let it be a tree if you're going to have it as a tree.
Right.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's some kind of a shrub. And like I said earlier, if you want them low, buy the dwarf and let them bush up as opposed to cutting off a real tree.
I didn't get the choice of a dwarf.
You may want to murder them.
You might have to get on a ladder.
Which one will you talk about, dear?
It's the one in the back.
Why is it this one needs to come off? I get a no notice there.
And see the one, it's kind of like at that V there. Would that be a good one to get off? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm in trouble. if I could get volunteers, we want to make sure that there's none coming up around the trunks of them. And then just go through and cut all these low ones off so that we have smooth trunks going up. Get some volunteers.
Can I borrow an alcohol wipe on that?
Yeah. Here's small ones.
Let me go get mine.
What are we supposed to be doing?
Give me the little green.
As you can see, there was a good turnout on this class on pruning Crepe Myrtles.
This is Paul Mullins, and I'm going to give you an update on electric vehicles. First off, your charging is very important on an electric vehicle. If you can't charge at home or at your apartment or that, you really don't want an electric. It's too much of a hassle to go to a place to charge all the time. Electric vehicles, if you really enjoy it, you're going to charge at home. That way, every night when you come in, you plug in, you're charged up, you're ready for the next day. And there's different chargers. There's 15 watt, there's 15 amp, 30 amp, 45 amp. I particularly have this Bosch Power Max. This is a 15 amp, and this EV is a 30 amp. Okay, what's the difference? The Bosch will charge my Leaf at 15 miles per hour of charge. It will charge my Tesla at 12 miles per hour of charge. This 30 amp EV charger, it will charge the Leaf at about 35 miles per hour of charge, and the Tesla, it will charge it 22 miles per hour of charge. If you want to figure the equivalence of how much does this cost, if you figure it out with today's rates, Monroe Utilities rates, to charge the Leaf, it will run about 3.5 cents a mile to charge it. The Tesla will run you about 5 cents a mile to charge it. To give you an equivalent, if you have a gas car that uses regular's about $3 a gallon right now. So if it was getting 50 miles to the gallon, it would cost you about 6 cents. So that's the equivalent. You're in a cars that are getting over 50 miles to the gallon. In fact, the Leaf is probably giving you somewhere around 80 miles to the gallon equivalent. So that's the first advantage of an electric car, is it's much cheaper to drive it. And again, I want to emphasize, if you have an electric, you need to charge at home. And a charger can run you can go on eBay and get used ones. They will start at about $200, and you can pay $400 or $500 for one, even $700 or $800. It just depends on what you want to pay, but I would say $250 to $300 is a good range for a good charger. This plug is called a J1772, and if you're getting a charger, I would recommend the J1772. That way, most of the cars besides Tesla use this plug. And what you can do if you get a Tesla is get the adapter, and the adapter will slide right on this plug, and you can then use the J1772 on your Tesla. So that way you can use it on either car, or if you have a J1772 and later buy a Tesla, then it'll work. So that's why I recommend the J1772, because if I bought one that had a Tesla plug on it, I could not charge my Leaf with that. But with this adapter, I can charge the Tesla off of a J1772. Another thing is, when you're getting a charger, get one with a longer cable. This one has about a 12-foot cable on it. Well, I can just charge. I've got my 2-bay carport, and I can just charge it on my number 1 bay because it's not long enough. The other one, my 30 amp, has got a 25-foot cable, and so I can charge either car, no matter if they're parked in 1 bay or 2 bay. I've got plenty of cable to charge either one of them. So I would recommend probably at least 20, if not 20 to 30 feet. That way it doesn't matter if it plugs in the front, the back, the side, wherever it plugs in, you've got plenty of cable to plug it in. And that can be a hassle sometimes, because I sometimes want to charge up the Tesla. The Leaf is over in the 1 bay, and if I just want to do the slower charge, I have to pull it out, pull it in there, and it gets to be a hassle. So your charger is very important. Now let me go over some things with the cars. They are now recommending that you charge a car to 75 or 80% to make your batteries last. The expense of these cars, and let me swing around here and show you. This is the Leaf. This is made by Nissan. They started making these cars in 2012, and Tesla started making their cars in 2012. So they've both been making electric cars for a good while. Now, let me say this, is the Tesla is a more powerful car. They're fun. They are really fun to drive because you've got a lot of power. It doesn't matter if you've got the lowest one, the 2 motor, the 3 motor. The 1 motor is fast. On the Leaf, it's faster than most like 4-cylinder cars its size. So one thing you'll find out about electric is they're peppy. They're peppy cars, and not like some of the hybrids. Some of the hybrids are kind of sluggish, but the electric cars, one thing you'll find out is they are very peppy. They 0 to 60 in anywhere from 2 seconds for a 3-motor Tesla, the Plaid model, to about 5 seconds with just about all the rest of them. Most of them fall in between, well, 5.5 seconds to 2 seconds to do from 0 to 60, which is pretty fast. And that's one thing that you will like about electric cars, is they are very fast on the takeoff. You can definitely merge with traffic, no matter how fast the traffic's going and where you're coming in from. With an electric car, you can merge with traffic very easy. Now, on the batteries, back to the batteries, what we have found out is the Tesla, you can set it, and a lot of the newer cars, you can set them to how much you want to charge it. Now, I've been driving in August of this year, of 2024, I will have been driving an electric car for 10 years. I started out with a 2015 Leaf that I bought in August of 14. And I'm on my 3rd Leaf. And one reason I've had to change Leafs is the first Leaf I didn't know how to do the battery. Nobody was telling you about the battery, so I would fill it up full, and man, I would discharge that thing to zero nearly. I did one time hit turtle gear, which is when you actually run out of power, it will kick into half speed, and you can probably go a mile or so on that. I happened to be within a half a mile of the house and made it home fine, but it was slow. Turtle gear doesn't have much power, but I did know my leaf, and I have come home many a time with 2 miles, 3 miles, 5 miles to spare, and I would always fill it up full. Well, as a result, my first leaf, after about 3 years, my 84-mile range was down to about 62 miles range. And so that really makes a difference. So there's, like I said, they're recommending now 75% basically, and don't let it discharge less than 15%. So in essence, if you're buying a car, an electric car that has a 300-mile range, your range is about 200 miles. Because if you fill it to say 80% and you use it down to 15%, you've got about 200-mile range. Which people say, oh, how long does it take you to charge? Well, that's another thing. If in most electrics, if you charge from 10% to 80%, it'll take you about 20 minutes on the superchargers. I'm going with a Tesla now, because on the J1772, you've got 12 watts, you've got 25 watts, you've got 150 watt. You just got all kinds of chargers out there. With Tesla, you've got 150 kilowatt hour chargers, and you've got 250 kilowatt hour chargers. So they're fast. And let me say this while I'm talking about charging. If you're going to take a trip right now, at the beginning of 2024, the only thing you can take a trip in is a Tesla, because it has all the charging stations set up on all the major highways, and they're about every 50 miles. You've got a supercharging station. On the J1772, they're everywhere, and when you go into one of the chargers, it might be a 1-car charger and it might be a 4-car charger. But with Tesla, the least I've seen is 8 cars, and most of them have 12-car chargers. So when you go in, right now you're not going to have to wait. Now that could change, but right now you're not having to wait to charge your Tesla. You go in with 12 cars, and also you've got apps that can tell you how many of the charging stations are open before you get there. But taking the 250 kilowatt hour Tesla charger, to charge a Tesla from 10 to 80% takes you about 20 minutes. Now here's the reason you don't want to charge full. Is to charge from 80% to 100% will take you about 20 minutes. So what I'm saying is you want to stop more times and your trip will go faster because of your charging. Like I said, from about 10% to 80%, 20 minutes, and from 80% to 100, 20 minutes. So all your chargers, as the car gets over 80%, start really slowing down, because if they threw all that power into the battery, you'd blow up your battery. So no matter who the manufacturer is, when a car starts getting over, and a lot of them, when they start getting over about 60%, it starts dropping off, because you don't want all that power hitting your battery, because like I said, the battery can't take it. I don't care who makes it, it will blow the battery up. So they constantly are monitoring the battery, and so I say blow up the battery. That's not going to happen, because the chargers are smart chargers, and they know about how full the battery is, so they back off accordingly to how full the battery is. So that's the thing in charging. People ask you, how long does it take you to charge? I tell them about 20 minutes. You know, it could take 25 minutes. But what I have found out is the chargers, at least the Tesla chargers, are in a very convenient location. There's nearly always several restaurants around, and there's always like a Target, a Walmart, you know, a big store of some kind, a Kroger. And so you can go in and go shopping. And I have really never just sat in my car and charged. I've gone in the store, I've gone and I'll eat or whatever, and so it really isn't taking time out of my life to charge because I'm doing something else. So that's another thing with charging. Now, if you're on a trip, electric cars right now are excellent commuter cars. You can't beat them. They're the best thing out there. They're the excellent commuter cars. If you go on a trip in one, then here's a rule of thumb. For every 2.5 hours that you drive, if you're an electric, you'll add 20 minutes to it. So every 2.5 hours, it'll be like 2 hours and 50 minutes in time if you're talking about your charging time and that thing. So if you're in a big hurry, you just can't get in a big hurry in an electric. And let me say this. They say charge up to 80%, to 75 to 80%. You can charge it full. It's just don't keep charging it full because it'll make the battery's life go down, which will make your range go down. And if you really want that battery to last, my Tesla, right now, it's about 10 years old. And they say about 1% per year you'll lose. Well, right now, when it was new, 265 miles was the range. And right now my range is about 235. So you can see about 1% a year is what it loses. The Leaf, on the other hand, it actually loses about 1.5% per year. So, but the Leaf doesn't protect the battery like the Tesla does. The Tesla has warmers that come on to warm the battery in the winter time and fans to come on in the summertime to cool it off. The Leaf does not have all these features. Now, the good and bad point. These fans and heaters coming on in the Tesla will take range. I'll give you an example. I can come in at night and say I don't charge, which I should charge every night when I come in because they recommend keeping them full or keeping them up to 80%, you know, all the time. But let's just say I came in and I had 150 mile range in the Tesla. Well, if it's been a real cool night or a real hot night, I could come the next morning and I would have, instead of 150 mile range, I might have 145 mile range. I could lose 5 miles off of my range. Now, in the Leaf, it doesn't process the batteries and all, so if I have 150 miles, in the morning when I come back to it, it'll have 150 miles. But the things that the Tesla does to its batteries makes the battery last longer. So there's trade-offs, and I just want to make you aware of that. And with battery technology constantly changing, I'm sure that's going to change. But right now, your conditioning of your battery does help the life of the battery. So I hope that's been helpful for you if you're considering an electric car. Just remember, they're fast. And if you like the sports car feel of a sedan, hey, a Tesla, they're fabulous on that. If you like pretty fast speed, then a Leaf. And again, the price range is different. In both cases, I bought used Tesla and bought used Leaf, and I've been pleased with both cars. One thing you'll find out about a used electric car is it won't have the miles on it that a gas car will have. For instance, my Leaf in 2020, it was an 18 and just had 12,000 miles. So it's like buying a new car basically when I bought it, because it just 6,000 miles a year is all had been put on it. So that's another thing to consider with an electric, is they do not usually have the mileage that a gas car, or they call them an ICE car, induction, well, I can't say it, but anyway, ICE is an induction combustion engine. And sorry I messed up on that, but they call them ICE cars and electric cars. And if somebody says an ICE car, they're talking about a gas car. So hopefully this will help you. And if you're wanting to buy an electric car, my wife says all you do is talk electric cars. I'll be glad to talk to you. I can tell you all the pros, the cons, because like I said, it's nearly 10 years now that I've been driving electrics. So this is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment, and I hope you've enjoyed this segment. And I'll show you the pictures of the Leaf and the Tesla. The Leaf looks like this. And then the Tesla, of course, looks like this.
Hello, I'm Kenny Sargent with Keep Walton Beautiful, Walton County Recycling Center. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We're staying busy here at the center. We're starting to get into springtime, and just wanted to remind you, I think I said it last time, just to remind you, a lot of people are pruning back their crepe myrtles, and they're starting to do some of the spring cleaning outside. Limbs, leaves, all of those items, they're going to have to go to an inert landfill. Call us, let us direct you to the nearest one to you. But if you come all the way down here, we're going to have to turn you around. We simply can't take any of that stuff. We've been having to turn around a lot of cars. So just wanted to put that out there. We are starting to plan some of our spring events, and the first one is we're having a tire amnesty event. It's a week-long tire amnesty, and we're going to kick that off Saturday, April 20th. And we'll be accepting tires here free of charge through Friday, April 26th. The only restrictions we're putting on that presently is the tires do need to be off the rims. We can't take tires on rims. The tire processor we take our tires to won't accept them that way. So we will be turning you around if you have those. Outside of that, presently, we don't see putting any other restrictions on the tire amnesty. Again, give us a call if you have any questions, 770-267-1421. Be happy to tell you more or answer any questions you may have about that. We've also partnered with the Loganville Lions Club, and we're going to be doing a document destruction on Saturday, April 27th. And that will be at City Hall in Loganville, and I know that may be a little bit of a trip for most of you. And we are planning, or going to try to plan to do one here at the Recycling Center in either May or June. I'll get details out on that, but if you're really pressed to get rid of some of those old documents, you're free to bring them to the City Hall in Loganville. Again, that's Saturday, April the 27th, and that will be from 10 to 12 there at City Hall. So come on out and bring any old documents you have. I know it's tax season, and there's generally a lot of those documents lying around. So come out and see us. Give us a call. We can give you more information. I'll keep you posted on the other document destruction that we're going to try to have here at the Recycling Center, and we'll let you know about all of that. And again, like I always do, come out and see us, give us a call, let us help you get started recycling, let us help you find new things to recycle. We can answer your questions about, disposal of certain items. If you've got large items that can't be put in a can at home, right here at the recycling center is a perfect place to bring them. We're also accepting mattresses now, as long as they're in fair condition. Don't let them sit outside and get rained on for 2 or 3 weeks before you bring them here, or don't let them get mildewed. As long as they're not big holes and they're not torn apart and not soaking wet, you can bring those mattresses here. Those are hard to get rid of. There is a $10 charge on each mattress, and we have a 2 mattress limit here, but we do accept the mattresses here. So give us a call, come out and see us. We'll be happy to walk you around, tell you a little bit about what we do, answer any questions you have, and until next time, take care.
Hi, this is Jody Johnson with the Recreation Report, and on the screen you had just seen our one of our latest leisure programs that we're going to have, and it's by popular demand. This will be our second craft fair. This one will be at Meridian Park in Loganville. That's on Generation Boulevard, right off the corner of Twin Lakes and Highway 81. We have a big community center there with a couple gyms, and we'll have our spring craft fair on February 19th. The event date is March 23rd, but you can register from February 19th till March 16th. So the event date is March 23rd. It only costs $15. So if you've got some crafts that you'd like to sell, things that you've made, things that just about anything that people have done last year when we did this in Social Circle, it sold out. We had a lot of vendors, anywhere from wood crafters to people that were selling hats to Christmas decorations. There were some t-shirts. There was tons of different crafts there. A lot of people came to it, and the vendors did real well. The money that you sell, you get to keep. The Recreation Department charges the $15. We provide the tables for you and the space, and then we'll advertise for the folks to come in to the event. So look forward to seeing you. If you're interested in participating as a vendor, pre-sign up for that. Just go on our website at waltoncountyga.gov. But we hope that you will come and at least see the vendors, and it's free to get in. And hopefully you'll find a few items that you would like to purchase from those local vendors. Our spring sports are doing real well. All of our baseball, softball, soccer, and track teams have already been selected. The uniforms have been picked out, and all the teams will start practicing as the weather permits here in February towards the end. Our opening day is set for March 16th, so all the teams are really getting geared up for that. We are looking for some good weather, hopefully this spring, that will allow our teams to get outside and participate. Speaking of getting outside, it is time to start looking at going to some of our outside pavilions. We have a lot of those throughout the county that you can use for birthday parties or reunions or any get-togethers that you might have. You can go online on our website at waltoncountyga.gov, and you can reserve those pavilions there. Cost to reserve is only $30, so it's fairly cheap. We look forward to you to come out to our parks. We have several walking trails that are outside now that these warmer afternoons are happening. People will enjoy going out and walking those parks. So look forward to seeing you. And on those days that it is raining, remember we do have the climate controlled areas in our community centers in Monroe, Loganville, and Social Circle for you to enjoy. It's very inexpensive to join our community centers. It's only $2 per week per family, so it's very inexpensive. And if you are over 60 years old, it's absolutely free for you. So no reason for you not to come up and utilize those community centers. So until next time, we'll see you again. Thanks a lot.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
from the Board of Commissioners meeting that was held on Tuesday, July 9th. So we started the meeting, of course, with the Pledge of Allegiance, and all commissioners were present with the exception of Bo Warren. So we had a presentation from the Sheriff's Office for the transfer of K-9 Azriel, and it was approved. And just a little bit about that. Azriel is one of our officers, K-9 officers, and he has a degenerative disc disease, and the vendor that we get our, K-9 officers from, they offered to take him back and replace him. The officers that have worked with Azriel decided that they all wanted to get together and provide a, life for Azriel that he could live out as he could most comfortably. So the Board of Commissioners thought that that was a noble idea and a noble gesture. So now Azriel will be living out his life comfortably with these deputies. So he was transferred to these deputies, and we're so grateful for those deputies stepping up and taking on that responsibility. We then had a presentation of the fiscal year 2023 audit from Walton and Jenkins. And if you'd like to take a look at that presentation, you can hear the audio on the Board of Commissioners meeting that is uploaded to the Walton County website. So we then moved on to Planning Commission recommendations, and we had a denial of a rezone of 2.4 acres from A2 to B3 for truck parking and a laydown lot and outside storage. And the Board of Commissioners did take the Planning Commission recommendation of denial, and they denied that rezone. The Planning Commission recommended approval of a conditional use on 10 acres for a solid waste transfer station, and the Board of Commissioners did take the recommendation of the Planning Commission and approved the conditional use with conditions. You can see those conditions listed on the agenda summary. They then had an approval of an amendment to the Walton County Land Development Ordinance, errata sheet dated 11/01/2023. The Board of Commissioners did not take the recommendation of the the Planning Commission for erratas 1, 2, 3, and they were denied by the Board of Commissioners. Errata number 4 was approved. The administrative consent agenda was approved unanimously, and the Board of Commissioners made appointments for the year with the reappointment of Rhonda Hawk as County Clerk, the reappointment of Patrice Broughton as Assistant County Clerk, the reappointment of Atkinson and Ferguson as the County Attorney, and the reappointment of Timmy Shelnut as Vice Chairman of the Board of Commissioners. And they appointed David Keener, who is the Mayor of Social Circle, as the representative for Walton County on the Northeast Georgia Aging Services Advisory Council. So we then moved on to the acceptance of bids and proposals, and the Center Hill Church Road water main was accepted from the Dickerson Group in the amount of $5,133,200. County Manager John Ward gave an update, and it was announced that the Humane Society would be having their ribbon cutting on Friday, January 12th. There wasn't an executive session held for that meeting, so the meeting was adjourned. I do want to take some time out to go over some of the accomplishments that the Board of Commissioners had in the year of 2023. There's always stuff to be done, and we're always, working to make our services better for the citizens of Walton County. So these are just a few things that we wanted to highlight in the year 2023. So the revenues that came in for 2023, and these are unaudited numbers, was $78,423,000. $21,525. The expenditures equaled $64,295,642. And we had a general fund increase of approximately $14 million. So the general fund balance now sits at $63,768,000 approximately. Again, those are all unaudited figures. If you would like to hear about the audit again, the firm Malden and Jenkins did give that presentation at the January 9th board meeting. So we did have a few projects in infrastructure in 2023 with the Walton County Fire Rescue Station 7. We did have the groundbreaking for that facility. And if you all will remember, Fire Rescue Station 7 caught fire in April of 2022 due to the engine catching fire in the apparatus bay, and the building was a total loss. So construction is ongoing and will be completed soon for Fire Station number 7. The Walton County Extension Office had their ribbon cutting in March of 2023. The office is located out at Criswell Road. So those of you that were familiar with visiting the Extension Office in downtown Monroe, you can now have all of your needs met by going to the office on Criswell. It is a very nice office. We're excited for Joel and his team out there and all of the things that they continue to do for the citizens of Walton County. The Walton County Senior Citizens Council and Social Circle had their ribbon cutting for their building on April 13th of 2023. And again, any seniors that want to participate in their services, you're more than welcome to go to that building, and it's located across the street from the the South Walton Community Center on Fairplay Road. Planning and Development moved their office to the Courthouse Annex 1, that's on Court Street, and the ribbon cutting was held for their building on June 9th of 2023. So they're fully operational and loving the space over there. So if you have any needs for the Planning and Development Department, you can come visit us across the street from the historic courthouse on Court Street. We also had the groundbreaking of the Public Safety Complex, and that was held on June 16th. And the Board of Commissioners did rename the Public Safety Complex to the Joe Chapman Franklin Thornton Public Safety Complex. So the Walton County Employee Health Clinic held its ribbon cutting on June 29th, and the clinic provides medical services including wellness visits and lab work to all employees on the Walton County Health Insurance Plan as well as their dependents. That's also located on Court Street. So we had a few renovations out at Criswell and the Ag Center. So they were able to add 4 new pickleball courts, and they also upgraded the kitchen to a commercial kitchen for events, and they also enclosed the arena space. So if you haven't been out there to take a look at the renovations for the Ag Center, and if you have any use for that, just go and take a look out there. It's really nice, and we're excited that they may be adding more indoor pickleball courts out there soon. So those are some of the highlights that we had for 2023. Again, we are doing
Today on Feed the Goats, we're going to see if goats like saltines. I think they will because there's a lot of salt here and they love anything with salt on them. So let's see. Come over here, Beth. Come over here. Okay. There. Heidi, you like saltines, don't you? You like hot saltines? Beth, you want some saltines? Come here, Beth. Y'all fight over it. Sophie, you want saltines? Beth, don't butter. Let's try 2 at a time. You want 2 at a time? Okay, yeah, I like 2 at a time. Come here, Beth. Come over here. Come over here so you'll be on camera. Come over here so you'll be on camera. There you go. Okay. Yeah, Beth, you're on camera. That's good. You like saltines. And Heidi, you like saltines too, don't you? Now we'll do 2 at a time. You like 2 at a time? Yeah. Sophie, well, you want some saltines. There you go. Beth, don't get her saltines. You just have to have all... Quit, Beth. You just have to have all the food, don't you, Beth? Okay, there you go. There you go. Ah, Sophie's getting some. Okay. Heidi, you want some more? Beth, quit chasing her. She likes to eat too. Come here. Come over here. She'll be on camera. Okay, there's saltine. There we go. Okay, good Sophie. She's getting best. Pick them up. Let's see, I got one more pack. Here we go. Let's eat the saltines. Here's 3. Can you take 3? Yeah, you can take 3. You want to try 3? Well, it looks like we have a winner with the goats. They love saltines, and I'm sure it's the salt in them. They like anything that has a little salt in them. So we'll put down another food for Feed the Goats, saltine crackers. This is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment.
My name is Curtis Green. I own Bare Bones Leather here in Monroe, Georgia. It's located in the Monroe Mercantile Building, which is the olive branch building for antiques and home decor. I've been doing it for about 15 years. I did an apprenticeship for about 1.5 years and caught on pretty quick, became obsessed with it over the years, and so that's kind of brought me from working for a large phone company, retired from there, and now I do leather work full-time here in the shop in Monroe. I do anything from belts, wallets, knife sheaths, gun holsters. The only thing I stay away from, I can't do boots, I can't do furniture or car interior. My main focus is motorcycle seats. I do motorcycle seats, tool rolls, saddle bags, pretty much anything that has to do with the motorcycle that you can put leather on. I'm also the guy they come to for artwork. I do all the artwork in the leather work, the tooling and all that. I do some classes. I have an apprentice right now, but I'm always allowing the younger kids to come in here and try their hand at it. But that's kind of what I do here as far as leather work, is pretty much anything and everything that you can cover. I've done golf clubs and axes and bull horns, but like I said, the main thing people come to me for, and it's where I kind of got my name in the industry, is motorcycle stuff. I have done movie props and TV props, but like I said, my main thing is motorcycle stuff.